Hey everyone, this is SPC Playingfield, and in this video I would like to give a good demonstration of the new Weatherscan emulator that was recently already talked about in the EAS community for quite some time. So, while I was running a Weatherscan, well, not really Weatherscan, but an information center live stream on my TV network a couple weeks ago, I was actually sent by Detroit Pontiac a new emulation. Sorry about that. Right here, this is the site, and essentially what this is a realistic emulation of Weatherscan. I know a lot of you remember Weatherscan from like years ago, like when cable companies were still carrying this. Obviously, it's dead now, but not that many cable providers are still carrying this. Let's see. I think I know Frankfurt Plant Board Cable is actually still carrying this. This is one of them I know as of right now, but the actual number is very few. But someone was nice enough to actually put up an emulation of this online so we can relive these memories, and I'm very excited. Now, I'm pretty sure we were very familiar with these online Weatherscan-like emulations. One of these, for example, is iView Weather, which we have been using in the past. As far as I know, everybody was given out this emulation and everyone was made aware of it. So now we've pretty much all switched over to Weatherscan. However, I know as of now, Washington has yet to be made aware of this new emulation, even though I did make him aware in his TV stream. He has not yet spread the word or took my advice or advantage yet. So here's iView Weather. This is the emulation that my TV network has been using. This is like local on the 8s, right? This looks like local on the 8s that you see on the Weather Channel every 10 minutes. It looks just like that, except this is constant. It's on a constant loop, and it has even more narrations. In fact, every single part of this is narrated. Every single one. Yeah, every single thing on this thing is narrated. The Weather Star, you can completely configure yourself. It is local on the 8s, essentially. That's another example. However, with Weatherscan, that's an entirely different story. But now I want to go through some of the comparisons and differences to Weatherscan that Weatherscan has over iView Weather and those other emulations. So, if you want to change location, you put a question mark and then you type in the name of it. Like, for instance, I'm gonna take a nearby city. Like, I'm gonna do Rockford as an example. So we put in Rockford, and now we will get the current weather conditions for Rockford and surrounding areas. There we go. We can see Janesville, Freeport, and Rochelle. Now, we can actually change these here. You gotta hit escape, and then we'll be brought to this menu. Appearance, weather, and others so far do not work. However, I think that may come in a future update. Now, we can change these 8 city slide locations. On the main location, you'd see, like, other conditions. You can even change the ticker. It's like, for instance, I'll take off Elgin, and I will change it to Homer Glen, and then I will say add to ticker, and then it will be put into the ticker. However, for some reason, it does not work. That's right. Or, like, for instance, I could take off Monroe, And then I can add something like that. And then I can add a location like Jones. I'll take and then I can change it and add Milwaukee. I know you're not seeing the screen, but then we can add. Oh, we have to type a display name before we do so. So we can type in Milwaukee, and then we can hit Add to 8 City Slide, and there it is. We have to do the same for the other locations. So I'm going to type in Homer Glen once again. And then type in Homer Glen as the display name, then click Add to Ticker. And now it'll show up in the ticker. Then we just hit Escape again to save the changes. However, we missed the 8 city slide, so we don't really have any of the changes. But we can change the extra locations. So I'm going to add Homer Glen into one of the locations. Or not really. I'm just going to type in... I'm going to type in a random area like Naperville. And then I will type in... I'll type in Naperville for display. And then I will hit Add Location. However, for some reason, it's something's up with the buttons. Sometimes you gotta get it good in order for it to recognize it. And then I can change it to. Then I can add another location like Sugar Grove. So I'll type in Sugar Grove. And then I will type it in. And type in Sugar Grove. And then add location. And then we hit Escape to save the changes. However, for some reason it does not apply. You maybe have to click Save or something. Yeah, sometimes it does not work. But there we go. Now we can see that we actually, well, it did glitch. Sometimes it glitches up like this, but that's not a big deal. As you can see, now we have the locations that we programmed. However, now, if we watch the ticker, we will start to see the locations that we put in. However, I don't even know if it worked on this end. Yeah, I just used the default ones, so maybe I didn't type it in right. But that's what would happen. Now, if we were to change it to like two letter locations, I'm gonna use Myrtle Beach as an example. So I'll type in Myrtle Beach after the question mark. And now we will get the current conditions for Myrtle Beach as well as other areas. You can see it programmed Spring May Beach and North Myrtle Beach. And yeah. And then I'll try a 3-letter location. Like for like Isle of Palms. So I'll type that in. And then I will get the current conditions for that area. But here's something interesting I found out about the radar. You can actually interact with it. You can actually zoom in and zoom out. You can even change the radar position. So like, for instance, I can change it to somewhere in like Florida. Yeah, like Kissimmee, Florida. Yeah, that's where all the severe weather was going on at the time. But now here's a problem. Here's the only problem. Like, let's say I want to get the weather conditions for Wellington, Texas. But what it instead does is it pulls the Wellington from somewhere else in the world, which is completely outside of the United States. So there's multiple Wellingtons, so you need to be sure that you're specifying the right one. However, I don't really know if we're going to. Well, I'm not sure if we're gonna. I don't know if we have a way to actually pull up the correct location, so we can get that location in the States. But as of now, we don't know that for sure yet. But I'm pretty sure an update of this may come soon. I can see it's pulling up some beach there. And if you don't specify a location at all, it'll detect a location based on your internet connection. So it'll pull your current location based on your device's location and internet connection. So or like internet servers and location tracking. So that's what I believe this thing uses. Now, let's say we type a location that's invalid. So let's put in something like A. And it'll just pull so like if you just type something like A, it'll just pull up a random location. It'll pull up something random. Or like, for instance, I'll just type J and it'll pull up a random area. So if you just type in like a letter, it'll just pull up a random location. It won't. But it is very cool to see this go. For some reason, this is Pennsylvania. For some reason, this is like is this the town in the state, or is this the entire state? Because it looks like the entire state to me. So if you just type in the first letter, it's only going to give you a random area. So let's see what that A does again. Yeah, it'll just pull a different area. Like, for instance, I'll just type M, and it'll give me the entire state of Michigan. Or what if I just put a number like 1? It'll just pull up a different location, even with a number, with a number. Okay. So then, I know. All right. Let's see what else we can try. Let's do Albany, New York. So pull up Albany. And then we will get the current conditions for Albany, New York. Let's see, there are the other locations there. Now, I've actually been trying to put in WeatherPro's location. Oh, that's not right. Yeah, when I try to put in something like East Berlin, yeah, it'll pull a different one. It's going to pull the East Berlin in Maryland rather than Pennsylvania. And then I'll try Mount Air. Oh, I don't think I typed. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Sometimes when you misspell a location, it'll correct it automatically. You can see now it's coming up with the location you want. And then you'll see the current conditions there. And also, like we saw earlier in my Weatherscan cycle, why is this cord? This cord is broken. I need a new charger cord. This Apple-based one is broken. All right. Now, anyway, as we were dealing with earlier today, as soon as it cooperates, as soon as a weather alert is issued for that respective area, you can see it automatically goes into a severe weather mode. So essentially, it'll just loop the radar with the alerts scrolling on the bottom. However, this local forecast thing and the current conditions, it'll expand to show more areas, and this will continue to run. So that's what that's about. And however, I believe the only issue I've so far noticed with this is that it's not pulling the almanac conditions correctly. And it wasn't pulling the pollen report previously, but now it is. So, yeah, when I first tried this emulation out, the only issue I so far noticed was with the almanac. It was pulling incorrect dates for moon phases. I think that section was removed entirely, but I think that was a good move, because iViewWeather did the moon phase almanac correctly. But what I also like is that it also updates the conditions in real time. So, unlike iViewWeather, if you want to get the conditions in real time, you're going to have to refresh every few minutes in order to get the correct conditions. Which is something I've noticed with my info center too. Like when I start iViewWeather, once I start the live stream, it's the exact same way it was. And in fact, I think that resolved the issue where some text was duplicating over and over again. But at least I won't have to worry about it anymore. Oh yeah, here we go. Here's the almanac issue I'm talking about. And see, it's pulling incorrect dates for moon phases. As of now, that's the only issue I've observed. That's the only issue I've observed right now. But yeah, and the other issue is when severe weather mode has ended, it'll just get stuck. So far that's a couple issues I've observed, but overall nothing too significant. So other than that, I rate this 10 out of 10. Because it brings back so many memories. Get to relive all the nice, relaxing music that you used to hear every time I tune in. So many memories. So yeah, if you would like to try this emulation out yourself, I will put a link in the description. Yeah, I'll link the emulation in the description so you can try it out for yourself. And I'm pretty sure everyone else has tried it already, but if you have not tried it out yet, I'll put it in the description now, and I'll give you a chance to do so. So yeah. So thanks for watching. This has been SPC Playing Field, and we'll see you in the next video.